Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I am going to show you a really quick blanket to make with Aldi chunky yarn with this type of super chunky yarn. So big yarn needs big hooks and this is a UK 12mm hook. If you're in the USA you'll need an O size hook, and a big hook makes a really pretty blanket. Now it makes it really quick as well. Now this is a 400-gram ball of yarn and I've got all of this made already and I've still got half my ball to make. Now this is 38 stitches on my blanket. There's no stitch count for it and I'm going to show you how to do it really quickly using this beautiful rib stitch to get it with this lovely rib on it. It is so quickly. It's only taken me 20 minutes to make this half of it anyway. Only 20 minutes. And this one ball should be enough to give you a blanket. This is the back of the blanket. It's quite flat on the back. It's still pretty. Still very pretty. And this is the front. And I'll show you how to put an edge down. I'll show you how to put an edge down the sides just to neaten up your sides. You don't need any on the top or the bottom. The bottom's quite neat, and I'll show you how just to run some simple treble crochets down the side to neaten it all off. So I'll show you how to do this super quick blanket. It is so fast, this blanket. 20 minutes is going to get you a really good car seat size for a toddler or a lovely play blanket for a toddler as well. So we'll get on with this and I'll show you how to do it. So for this blanket, I'm using this So Crafty yarn. It's by Aldi. You can use any super chunky yarn that you want. I'm using, if you're in the UK, this is a 12mm crochet hook. It's a really big hook. So large hooks, thick yarn, or double your yarn up if you want, makes fast crochet blankets. Now I'm going to pop this up to the side. Now you can double up yarn as well to make it extra thick. So I'm going to make a slip knot, put it onto my hook, and I'm going to do a chain. There is no stitch count, no stitch count. Make the chain as long as you want it to be for your blanket. Make sure you keep your stitches loose. You don't want it to tighten in at the edge. Make sure you bring your stitch right up onto the shaft of your hook. Don't crochet away down here, it's going to make smaller stitches. Your stitch is made up here. So we'll do a chain. I'm going into the fourth stitch in my chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn over and go into the top loop. Pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, just into the top loop, just that one loop and through, all the way along. And look how big this is already. This is a super chunky blanket. Lovely to wrap yourself up and watch TV. Yarn over and through, all the way along. So I'm at the end of my row and I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now when you do your chain to begin with, make sure that you do it slack. You don't want it too tight. If you do it too tight, your blanket will go in like this and you don't want that. You want your blanket to stay straight like this. So I'm going to chain my 3 and I'm going to turn my work around, and not into that stitch, into this one here. You're going to go into that back loop that's there, that back loop. So that's the top of your stitches with your V shape on the top of your stitch, and you're going in, yarn over and into that back loop all the way along. 1 treble crochet into each back loop, into the back loop. And look how much it's grown already. And that's why they say these blankets are really quick. And look how much it's grown already. That's at least 4.5 inches. And that's why they tell you on YouTube that these blankets are really fast. The thicker your yarn, the bigger your hook, the quicker your work will be. And these are lovely blankets for cold summer nights and really nice cozy warm winters. Through the back stitch, through the back loop, all the way along. So this is my chain 3, and what I'm going to do is make sure you turn it and you're going to catch the loop that's there. So you're still doing a back loop on that last stitch as well. You want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work around. So what we're going to do on this row is we're going to do the front loop. You'll have that lovely pattern on this side with those ridges. So when you do your first row, you're doing a back loop, and when you do this next row, you're doing a front loop. The next row, you'll do the back loops, and the next row, it'll be front loop. And that will keep the back of your blanket flat and the front of your blanket with these ridges in it. So what you'll do now is you're going to go, I've got, wait a minute, my 1, 2, 3, sorry, chain 3. Now you're going to go into don't go into that stitch, it belongs to that tall chain. Go into this stitch. So we're going to go into the front loops of that V now. We're going to go into these ones. 1 treble crochet into each stitch, pull through, then the next one, all the way along. So one row you'll be doing the back loop, the next row you'll do the front loop. You'll just use that top front loop, and it makes a really pretty rib blanket. It's still a reversible blanket because you've got a flat edge here and you've got this lovely rib on this side. So what I'll do is I'll work my way to the end. I'm going to do a few rows alternating the back loop on one row and the front loop on the next row, and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. But look at this already. We're already up to like 5.5 inches almost with this, and that is how it grows so quickly. So I've done quite a few rows and I've still got all of this yarn left in this ball. Half a ball I've still got left. I'll pop that up there. And this is how much of this blanket I've got. I'll bring the video up a little bit more. And this is how much I've got done. Now I've done this in about a half an hour, not even a half an hour. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's only 13 rows, and look how big that is just with 13 rows. And it shows you that big yarn and big hooks make big, quick blankets. And this is how it looks. This is the back of the blanket. It's quite flat on the back, but it's still really pretty, as you can see. My little tail end there. And this is the front of the blanket, and this is what the rib looks like. I'll turn it so that you can kind of see it at an angle. It leaves this beautiful rib when you do a back loop, and when you're on the back, do a front loop with the crochet that I've just shown you, and this is what you get. Now, to finish this blanket off, what you can do is just run down the side. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and just right down the side, just go down in between your stitches, and I'm going to do some just basic treble crochets. Oops, I didn't do my yarn over there. So yarn over and go through the stitch and work your way down your blanket, and you can put some treble crochets down the side. Just push it through there. Now what you might need to do is, oops, I've just lost my ball of yarn. Now what you might need to do is just adjust it as you're going down the side. If you need to add an extra stitch in, then just add an extra stitch in. I'm just putting one in with each section here, one here, then one in that section and one in there. If it looks too many, then just do less. The thing is, when you're doing edges on a blanket, when you're doing borders, a lot of it is using your own eyes. If your blanket sprays out like this, or it becomes all ruffled like that, you've got too many stitches down the side, so do less. It's when you're doing a border, a lot of the time it is your own eyes and how you're looking at it to how it sees. Now I might tell you one into every space. Your tension might be different from mine, so you might need to put one into all the small spaces and maybe two into the bigger spaces. So you've got to judge that for yourself. And this is a great way to use up all this Aldi yarn. A big hook and a big stitch, a lovely loop stitch, and it gives you this beautiful pattern. And this is a true super fast blanket to make with a UK treble crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet for you, and the first row you're doing into the back loop, and when you're on the back of the blanket, you're going into the front loop, and that makes a ridge on this side, and it is so pretty. Look at that, it's really pretty. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and if you click on the bell icon, then YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. So get using all that super chunky yarn that you have. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.